Look at all that money, yeah, the money that they spend. Take another look now and take some time for hemp. Don't cut trees for paper, cause it hurts the environment. Stop deforestation, yeah, it's time for hemp. Oh, an acre of hemp makes 20 barrels of oil. No need for pesticides to poison all our soil. People got no food, they got no clothes, they got no rent. Well, right now it's time for hemp.
Thank you for taking time for hemp. I'm your host, Casper Leitch. You are listening to Time for Hemp all around the world on Tumblr, SoundCloud, iTunes, and of course in iHeartRadio. We are the only 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week, all cannabis, all the time broadcasting network on iHeartRadio. And like a good joint, we are best when shared with friends. Today is Tuesday. We put a spotlight on all the amazing people up in Canada. And my joint host is KDK founder Kristen. Good morning, Kelly.
Good morning, Casper. How you doing today?
Pretty groovy, thank you. We're having a great time here in the state of Oregon, enjoying our new rules and regulations that allow the citizens of this state to partake in recreational use of marijuana without fear of arrest.
Wow. Must be nice. I'd love to have that feeling, let me tell you. I hope it's coming soon.
So do I, because it is a nice feeling. It's the kind of feeling I had at one time when I was on holiday in Amsterdam many, many, many moons ago. And then the feeling came back to me when I did become a resident of this state, but as a medical marijuana user. But now I get to enjoy the recreational use and know that the people who I like to hang out with, who are not medical marijuana users, can also legally partake in the wonderful aspects of this plant without having any fear of being arrested. So it is just a wonderful way to be, and it makes it possible now so that if we happen to need to call the police for any reason, we're happy to do so and not in fear of being arrested ourselves. So it takes care of a lot of problems on a lot of levels.
Yeah, without question. It's a major step forward, and you guys are pretty much leading the way down there. Hopefully we get on the bandwagon here soon.
Well, I don't know why Canada hasn't. You've had this amazing hemp industry for about 25, 30 years, I think now, right?
You bet, you bet.
And you would think that your politicians would wake up more quickly than the Americans, because at least the Americans are blinded by the corporate greed and the money that's thrown at them. And I think that the Canadians are a little too smart for that. I guess I'm wrong. I don't know.
No, we just have a political party in power that it's just not their policy. They will never be legalized on their watch. That's for sure. So hopefully they're gone, and the sooner the better. It's October. It's not very far away. So yeah, we have a chance.
Well, and as you say, ABC, right?
Yes, absolutely. Please, it's voting. It's ABC. Anything but conservative.
Well, I know you've got a great guest for us today. You brought to us a wonderful breeder that has a lot to share. So I'll hush my mouth and let you and your joint friends join us here in the Big Joint broadcast at Time for Hemp.
Well, today, again on the show, we're lucky enough to have Franko from Greenhouse Seeds. How you doing today, Franko?
It's awesome to be here, guys. I'm doing great. Fantastic.
Awesome.
Hi,
awesome.
Hi, Casper. Hi, Kelly.
So, what's new and exciting in the land of Franko? Are you? I hear there's big changes in Holland. You were telling us something might be happening with the big Cannabis Cup show that's been running 26 odd years in Amsterdam.
Yes, actually, at the moment, it's not a very easy time in Holland for cannabis in the industry and for people who love the plant. The government there is a little bit on the conservative side as well, same as in Canada. And in the last couple of years, they've been implementing a few changes in the law that are making more complicated to operate in the cannabis sector. And one of the immediate consequences of this is the fact that the High Times Cannabis Cup has moved away from Amsterdam after 26 years of glory. We're going to Jamaica this year, Kelly. Get ready. Wow. Get your swimsuit.
I guess I'm going to Jamaica for the first time in my life.
Yeah, it's not a bad one, huh?
No, it's not a bad switch, that's for sure. But obviously, I mean, an event like that where you're attracting, a couple, 3,000, 4,000 people from around the world, and the vendors and the other people that it brings and the locals, obviously it's a bit of an economic impact, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not good for Amsterdam. It's not good for the cannabis scene in Europe, especially. But it's inevitable because, I mean, with all the events that are happening now in the States, all the big cups organized by High Times in San Francisco and LA and all the other places, and I mean, it's Amsterdam was really getting smaller and smaller the last few years because of the policy of the government that wanted to keep these kind of things a little bit quiet. So I think it's not a bad move in the end. It's people are gonna have to fly down to Jamaica, but I mean it's a great place. It's very tolerant and very liberal lately, and we all look forward to start this new adventure. Actually,
well, I've also spent I've been to Amsterdam many times in my life, and I've also seen the degradation there and the different every time it's always a new thing. Oh, your coffee shop is too close to a school, or this or that, or events, and then being at the Cannabis Cup when the police come in and took over and made everybody give up the cannabis they were carrying and searched everybody on the way out, and a big fiasco. So obviously that had never happened before, and
no, there was a signal. There was a big signal already that things are changing, and I think it's good that we moved to Jamaica with High Times people. I mean, why not?
Yeah, you bet. I'm sure. Well, it's definitely going to be sunnier, I assume.
Yes.
Always pretty dreary in November in Amsterdam. And
Exactly.
I recall the first couple of years. I think it was about the third or fourth year I was there, and it was like, oh wow, man. I had 30 minutes of sunshine today. That's more sunshine I had than in the last 3 years coming here.
Yeah, many years during the Cannabis Cup week was the first snow of the year in Holland. So that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you bet. Well, look forward to it. It's a change. Unfortunate for Holland, but plus for Jamaica. So the show must go on, and it would be interesting to see if they attract a really nice crowd, it being the first time in Jamaica?
I think so, because, I mean, it's close by for Americans and for Canadians. It's a few hours flight. It's certainly closer than Amsterdam and cheaper, the flight, so why not?
You bet, and I'm assuming hotels and food and all that is all going to be cheaper as well?
Yeah, for sure. And November is a great time to go to Jamaica because it's the beginning of the really dry season, let's say, so it's perfect.
Yeah, and it's the beginning of winter here, so it's perfect for me, too.
Yeah, out of Canada.
Excellent. So when is it going to be right at the same time, November, late November?
Yeah, I heard it for the Thanksgiving weekend. No change in the calendar.
Okay, perfect. So, wow. I know you've been to Jamaica before, yes?
Yeah, we've been to Jamaica a few times with the Strain Hunter crew. I was there even before, just as a tourist. I love the place. It's a great cannabis destination. Very good cannabis destination. There's plenty of good genetics around lately in Jamaica. There's a lot of American and Dutch strains, a lot being grown, and the tourism industry is really like a very cannabis-oriented tourism industry because of the reggae culture, and it's I mean, Jamaica is very linked with cannabis in its culture. So I think it's a great choice.
Yeah, for sure. If there's anywhere to go in the world, it's
for sure there is a higher percentage of cannabis user between the local population in Jamaica than there is in Holland, my man. So.
Yes, I don't doubt it. Yeah, you bet. That's awesome. Cool. Well, I'm looking forward to it, and I'll certainly put it on the calendar and hope to be there, and hope to see you there, of course.
We'll meet there for sure.
Now, speaking of some of the Dutch strains that they might be growing down there, I know that you guys have come out with of course, the Strain Hunters line, which is doing really, really well, but also some new autoflowers because they seem to be becoming quite popular. Can you sort of let us in on that and maybe why the autoflowers seem to be really moving forward in popularity?
Well, the thing is, autoflowering are very popular already many years in Europe because they offer a very good way to grow an outdoor crop out of the traditional outdoor calendar, and so to have several harvests per year on an outdoor location. And also because they offer the possibility to have cannabis ready when it's summertime, when the people go to the beach holidays in July, August in Europe traditionally. And so it's a very useful type of crop. And the popularity of autoflowering became so great that people started really to ask us to produce our famous strains in autoflowering version. So we did. We started actually 2 years ago with the White Widow, was first one of our traditional big names that we give in autoflowering version. And lately I've been very busy, and we just came out with actually a Jack Herer, a Super Lemon Haze, and the Cheese autoflowering. So these are three of the biggest names of our collection of Greenhouse Company, and they're plants that have a very distinctive characteristics of flavor, of aroma, of effect, and people really wanted to have an autoflowering version of them. So that's what we did. It's been a little longer than expected, the work on these genetics, because it's not easy when you cross with the ruderalis to really get stable traits out of the cross. You need to do a very large number in the early selection. But we succeeded, and now we're on the market with it. The first grow reports are coming online on the internet, and it's all very positive, so we're very proud of it.
Excellent, excellent. I know that here we have a very short season in most of the country, so autoflowers have been growing in popularity in Canada as well, but we're still behind in Europe for sure.
Yeah, Canada is for sure, they're going to be very useful for Canadian growers, these kind of seeds. I'm sure when it spreads more, people will really love this because it gives them the possibility to actually finish a crop in places where normally it would be very hard to finish.
You bet. Yeah. That's very, very popular. I think it's going to become in Canada just for that reason. Really, we only have 2 provinces in the whole country that already currently do a little bit of outdoor stuff, and beyond that, people were building big, huge structures that were movable so that they could control the light and trick them into flowering earlier, just because it gets too cold and they never finish here. So the autoflower is going to work in the other 8 provinces, so that's a big part of the population, and I'm sure we're going to see a major switch here as we continue to move year by year.
This is democratization process of cannabis. You see, give access to.
Yes, well, like you say, it's bringing access or the growing capability to people that didn't have it before. So,
absolutely.
Now, people ask, I'm sure, what about the quality of the product when you cross it with the ruderalis? Obviously, are you going to lose THC and CBD?
Well, in the first generation, definitely that's the case. So it's up to the breeder to be able to select those few individuals that are carrying over the good characteristics, the good traits, and just use the seeds that those individuals give you for the second generation and the third and the fourth and so on. So it's a very narrowing process. I would say much less forgiving than with normal genetics. But if you have a large enough number to start with, and if you are very careful and strict with your selection characteristics, then it's no problem. The original flavor and the original characteristic of the strain pass through.
Excellent. But still the yield is obviously going to be less because they're growing in a shorter period of time?
We have different types of autoflowering plants. Some of them, yes. Some of them are made on purpose to stay smaller, just for a practical reason, for people that want to grow them on balconies in cities or in situations where they have to be a little bit more stealth. Other types of autoflowering nowadays can reach dimensions that are very productive. Like we have some autoflowering that can end up at 6 feet tall, and that can produce pretty much as regular plants. So it depends which kinds. But I would say that the tendency in general in the last year has been to see that more and more the autoflowering that are coming on the market tend to be of a bigger size. People tend to want now larger flowering plants to favor production against maybe 1 week slower or 2 weeks slower in the total crop time.
Right. Nice. Well, another reason that, like you say, they've become very popular in Europe, and they're moving towards that here in Canada. I don't know about the U.S. market. Casper, do you have any thoughts, or you hear anything down there of people liking to use autoflowers?
Well, there's a lot of growers that I hang out with, but I don't really have those discussions. I'm usually just enjoying the flowers that have been picked and dried.
Too much time to enjoy. Yeah.
Beautiful.
It's like when I meet someone's kids, I don't want to see the birth pictures, and I don't want to hear about how it was conceived. It's just nice to meet the kid.
That's right.
Well, there's nothing better than the feeling of hanging around a whole room full of girls. That's for sure. They're inspiring, uplifting. It's awesome, and Franko gets to do it pretty much every day, I assume, or darn near.
I've all my ladies around me all the time. Don't worry, Kelly.
Yeah. Do you have any personal favorites? Are you a White Widow guy, or are you more?
At the moment, I have to say that during the day, I love to smoke Super Lemon Haze because it keeps me a little bit more active and creative, and it doesn't put me too much on the couch lock side. And then when it's nighttime, I'm really into cheese and kush. Cheese and kush are the two flavors that I really enjoy when I want to couch lock lately.
Yeah. Nice. Well, you don't want to let steer.
But there's so much variety, man. The beauty of cannabis is the variety. The beauty is that you can change flavor and you can have slighter different effects all the time. And everything gets boring in life, So it's good to keep changing.
Absolutely. One of my favorite lines is, if everybody liked the same thing, it would be a pretty boring world we lived in.
There you go.
And I've always liked change. I've never liked to smoke the same cannabis strain for any super long length of time, although there have been a couple of really nice strains to come along in my lifetime that I really, really liked, of course. But, I like change as much as the next guy. And the new flavors or a different flavor or a slightly different high. But I'm along the same lines as you. I really like a sativa heavy during the day. And, and I like to get my couch lock on at night for sure and get into some indicas, you bet. I think that's the majority of people.
Well, yeah, for sure, the majority of regular smokers, that's the practice, We all got to do something during the day. We can't just lay around and do nothing.
Yeah.
And we all want to chill out at night and get rid of the stress that we accumulate during the day and all this stuff. So that's a common pattern. But as I said, we gotta keep enjoying the different things of weed. Sometimes it's also really nice to wake up in a lazy day and smoke real heavy indica and just have a chill morning. It depends. It depends on the day.
Yeah, absolutely. When I'm on holidays, I'm pretty indica dependent for sure.
Yeah.
So you're in Spain right now?
Yeah, at the moment I'm in Spain. I can't really be precise on the location because I'm moving around so much. I don't even know where I am myself, but I'm in Spain.
You're in Spain. And then what's up next? What's next in the cannabis world? Is a show or anything coming up soon?
We have at the moment we have a show in LA, I believe, end of July, and then in August there's going to be kind of a break, and then September is going to be the trade show in Irún in the north of Spain, Expo Grow, and then October is going to continue with Vienna and Chile and all that. We start again with the old circus.
Yeah. And any new strain hunters coming up?
We have plans to film in September, October, but I can't release any detail. Otherwise, I compromise my own location.
but we can be excited that we have another one coming.
Oh, yeah. We don't stop. You know us, man. We get bored quickly. We have to keep moving.
I wonder about guys like you. There's only 24 hours a day and 7 days in a week. How do you produce?
Oh, no, I made an agreement. I have my special arrangements. My week is 9 days, and my day is 36 hours. No? Yeah. But it's only for me, You can't have it. Sorry.
I see.
Yeah. Oh, no, I know. Look, it's a very stressful. I'm one of these people that I have a list of 100 things to do, and I'm frustrated because I want the list to be 120. And it's how it is. We keep busy, we keep moving, we don't stop, and we like it this way.
Well, I'm the same way, and I keep busy and I keep moving, and I like to do it with money in my pocket. And the only way that can happen is if we take a commercial break and pay our bills. And then we're going to listen to a song about how fantastic marijuana is, and then we're going to come back and pick up where we left off here at Time for Hemp. You are listening to the Time for Hemp Global Broadcasting Network. Please share us with your friends.
THCF Medical Clinics are the premier physicians clinic in the United States. THCF has offices all across the United States from Hawaii to Michigan. THCF Medical Clinics has helped approximately 150,000 patients obtain their medical marijuana permits to legally possess, grow, and use medical marijuana. If you have chronic pain, multiple sclerosis, or any other neurological degenerative disease, or if you have any gastrointestinal disorders such as GERD, irritable bowel syndrome, or if you have AIDS, cancer, spastic disorders, seizure disorders, or glaucoma, call us at 1-800-723-0188 or visit us online at hemp.org. Again, the number is 1-800-723-0188 and the site is hemp.org.
No one official, come and let the music play. The volume and the beat, vibration I go on and from England, Minnesota, from Devon to Daytona. We come up in New York, now up in Cali, so I'm on it. Everything is on this show. We rollin' it up in Philly, and I get we from Cali. Original gotta be, and I get in the beat, I say that it's true. We rollin' it up in Philly, and I get we from Cali. Original gotta be, and I get in the beat, I say that it's true. We rollin' it up in Philly, and I get we from Cali. Original gotta be, and I get in the beat, I say that it's true. We rollin' it up in Philly, and I get we from Cali.
I want to remind you that we are not just a 1-hour broadcast, but we are a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week broadcasting network known as the Time for Hemp Global Broadcasting Network. We are a group of people dedicated to ending prohibition all around the world. And like a good joint, we are best when shared with friends. We are having a great chit-chat here with our joint host, Kristen, today, and one of his joint friends here on the big broadcast who likes to talk jointly about the wonderful things you put in your joint here at Time for Hemp. With that said, I'm going to hush up and let Kelly and Franko get back to their joint chat on the joint broadcast. Kelly?
You bet. I know, well, of course, as everybody knows, we have a medical program here, been running for 15 years basically in Canada, coast to coast as a national thing. You have a lot of medical states that aren't necessarily legal for everybody else, but they do have a medical thing. And I know that there's something coming up with the greenhouse in the medical side of things. And we're all pretty excited about hearing about that. You got something to fill us in, right?
We are very busy with GH Medical. We launched this project about 2 months ago. Still at the very beginning, at the very early stages, but we teamed up with some neuroscientists in Holland, and we started a website where we collected all the available scientific paperwork and scientific studies on cannabis worldwide, and we kind of divided them by group of cannabinoids and by receptors in a new way, in a way that can really help the patients and the sick people that use cannabis medicinally to see what's useful to them, in which form, in which channels, through which receptors. And so basically GH Medical is a collection of information at the moment, but we are starting trials very soon for some new types of extractions in Holland, and we will also use some clubs in Spain to give volunteers for studies on different oils, different extractions for different conditions. So it's a very exciting new project that we're in.
Wow, that's exciting. Any work along the professional work along the medical field with cannabis is a huge, huge, huge plus.
If you look on our website, on Greenhouse Seed website, you can already find links to our new project. And I really would like to get as much feedback as possible on this because, as I said, we are at the early stages and we really need people to chip in with their ideas and their comments and the things. So please, guys, have a look and email me about it and let me know as much as you can.
Cool, cool, cool. So they just have to go to greenhouseseedcompany.nl or?
Greenhouseseeds.nl, and from there you have all the links.
You can find all the links. Excellent, excellent. but it's only 2 months new, eh? So
yes, it's only 2 months in the online, and at the moment we are still really developing all the possibilities that this gives us. So I'm not going to comment too much about it, but
Right.
it's something that we're going to present at the trade shows during the next trade shows in the next year around the world. And it's something that we're really dedicating a lot of energy to because it's like medical. It's very, very important.
You bet. That's awesome. That's great, and glad that you guys are spearheading that because of your experience and knowledge. I think is going to also help a lot. And like I say, any research at all is going to be beneficial without question. We need to really get to understand this plant because we don't. We're a long ways away from it, and there's so much to it. So many different compounds that are just undiscovered and not worked with yet. So, yeah, kudos. Woohoo! Onward and upward. Good luck with that. And as everybody who's listening, please go to the website and see if you can give them any feedback.
Awesome.
Now, I've got a question, if you don't mind. How do you come up?
Casper.
How do you come up with the names of the strains that you produce?
Oh, the names, man. Some of the names have been created in very funny situations, very unique situations. But yeah, it depends, you know. Some are just like more jokes, and some are more real. And like for example, the Ladyburn. You know, there's a strain we call Ladyburn 1974.
Okay,
Yeah.
right.
That strain is really cool because we chose the name based on a very famous Highland whiskey, Highland Scotch whiskey. Ladyburn is like one of the most awarded Scotch whiskies in Ireland. But we added 1974 because that's my date of birth, and that takes away the problem that we use the whiskey name, you know. That's just one of them, you know.
That's a funny story. You bet. Cool. Now I know that you're kind of short timing it with us today. You've got a pretty busy schedule, so we're pretty happy to have you on. Can you like to give a shout out to your website and anybody else?
Yes, thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Casper, for giving me this window always. It's very nice to be with you. Thank you, Kelly. And thank you to all the listeners of the show. We're trying to make this community bigger and better every day, so this is a great platform for me and for everybody to do this. And yes, today, unfortunately, I have to cut this a little short because my ladies are waiting for me, man. So.
And we all know we can't keep the ladies waiting or you get in big trouble.
Exactly.
Excellent. Well, we appreciate the time, and shout out for your website.
Nice one. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you, Casper.
And it has been an honor to have you on our broadcast. We look forward to having you back on the show. And I look forward to seeing photos of your ladies sometime soon and learning about all you're doing in your film.
Beautiful. We keep in touch. Thank you, guys.
Keep strong, my friends. We're going to take a commercial break, and then we're going to pick back up here for this wonderful hour of information about how fantastic marijuana is. And please remember, like Time for Hemp is like a good joint. We are best when shared with friends. Are listening to the Time for Hemp Global Broadcasting Network. Please share us with your friends. That was a short break here on the big broadcast, and we want to let you know that Time for Hemp is a growing team of people. We have about 17 people on the broadcast that are letting the whole world know how important it is to end prohibition. You can find all of the archives of all of your favorite hosts at the timeforhemp.com website. You can also get all kinds of groovy apps for your smartphones and your tablets so that you can take us on the go. All MP3s are free, and you can download them and share them with your friends. And that way, all the world will finally know how important it is to take time for hemp. We are having a joint discussion with my joint friends up in Canada. And my joint host today, Kristen, was going to make a joint announcement about how he and his joint team help the medical marijuana community by having a healthy way to take their medications. Kelly?
You bet. It's a program we've been running for a couple of years. It's 100% free. All you got to do is be a medical patient that uses cannabis to treat your ailment. Wherever you are in the world, it doesn't matter. We're more than happy to send you a free vaporizer, and yeah, it's free. We pay to ship it right to your door. And what we're interested in is, of course, medical patients that are on a assisted income or limited income or no income, and they have difficulty, of course. I know that a lot of the patients here where I live in Calgary, living in a big city, the cost of rent and living is a lot higher on the amount of money they get on ESH or AISH, assisted income for the severely handicapped here. It's very difficult for them to be able to afford to pay rent and buy food, let alone medicine, and then certainly think about getting a quality vaporizer. It's not within their reach. And these are the people that we're looking for. And I know that there are many of you out there. And if you're listening, and if you're not one of those people and you're involved in the medical community, you know somebody who's in that situation and could definitely benefit from a free quality vaporizer. Super simple. All you have to do is send me an email to Kelly, Kelly, at kdkwholesale.ca. Tell us a little bit about yourself and a phone number so we can contact you when we are glad to pull you out of the hat and send you a free vaporizer. We'd like to hear from all of you as soon as possible, because I can assure you that we truly enjoy giving them away.
And on behalf of the marijuana movement, Kelly, we want to say thank you. It's a very gracious thing that you and your joint team do. And we do want to encourage people to let everybody in the marijuana movement be aware of this free giveaway so that those who are in need of it can have access to it. Kelly, we also have on the big joint broadcast one of our joint family members here, Al Graham. Good morning, Al.
Good morning, Casper. How you doing?
Pretty groovy, thank you. I'm going to let you and Kelly have a joint chat about all the wonderful joint events that are happening up there in Canada.
That's right. I want to add to what...
Oh, Mr. Graham, how are you? Long time no see.
Good. Staying very, very busy.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yes,
busy is better than not busy, as we all know, for certain.
That's right.
You're smoking a lot of sativa then out there, are you?
No. I'm doing the indicas, but it doesn't slow me down any.
I've
got to get the word out. 24/7. Talk. Promote. Go.
So you're one of those guys that needs indica to slow you down a little. So
I need a heavy indica to slow me down. That's right. Yeah, I know the sativas. If I get too energetic, they hurt. I just hurt. from So no, I just stick to the indicas. But I wanted to mention you were talking about your free vaporizer giveaway to patients there, Kelly.
You bet.
I just want to let people know that in Joint Conversations, the webzine, or the e-zine by Time for Hemp, we have it listed in there for patients to be able to see that, as well as the electronic version, which is what most people would receive. It's all linked. So a patient would just have to go to page 19 of the zine. They would see the ad there on it or the promotion on it, and they can just click on your address, and it'll automatically open up their email, and they can send you a message. So that makes it easy for them as well to do that.
Excellent. Super
Yeah.
easy. Now I expect to hear from more people.
It's good. It's good. And just this past weekend, we were at a flea market. I'm involved with a fella from Canada Days, and we're going to be going around to different shows and flea markets, non-cannabis events. And he's going to be selling his wares, and I'm going to be promoting Time for Hemp, joint conversations of the medicinal benefits of cannabis. I spent all those years with Treating Yourself and doing national women's shows and home shows and everything that I enjoyed that so much that we're going to continue doing events, maybe not as big as those shows, but it's still public events where people don't expect to see you.
Awesome. I mean, that's great work, Al. I know you've been doing it for many, many years, a lot of hours, both you and your wife and all the people around you. Kudos to you guys for just carrying the torch, man. So many people suffer from burnout fairly quickly, but you're still on the indica and the heavy trail.
Yes. I've looked at that myself and wondered, geez, I thought that flame was flickering out years ago, but it just keeps on going. People got to know the truth. It's just so many people are lied to, and we got, as we point out in joint conversations, people who are spending unnecessary time in jail, for cannabis. So it's not right, and we got to change all that. And even though if eventually it's legal in North America and both of our countries, here in Canada and the U.S., there with Casper and everybody, we still got to keep going because the ones who don't want it legal will keep fighting.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So we'll have to keep going.
Well,
it
has been encouraging recently. Obama released a handful of non-violent criminals. And just this morning, I woke up to hearing Obama talking about how mostly black members of our society are arrested and singled out under the war on drugs. So he is finally saying the rhetoric that we have been saying for 25 years, and he's saying it to Congress. So that's encouraging.
That's huge. That's huge coming from the press.
That's right. Yeah, it is. And I saw that he pardoned a bunch of nonviolent drug offenses. I don't know what all was involved in them. But, that's good. And I don't know whether they can keep doing it over, what's he got, another 2 years?
He's got almost a year.
Yeah, year left.
Almost.
So,
I think once they start the election anymore about just as soon as the winner wins, so it's almost confusing. Yeah. I gotta stop and get my calendar out and look.
We've been experiencing that up here in Canada, haven't we, Kelly? It just seems like it's nonstop electioneering.
Yeah, you bet. And
attack ads all the time. I see those attack ads again. The one with.
I love it when they talk about Mr. Trudeau.
Yes, the glass pipe.
Yeah.
And they started the campaign here in America with a bunch of bozos, so it's even more difficult to take it serious. So not only do you hear too much of it, you make it a point to tune out, so that when someone asks you a question that you should know the answer to, like, how much longer does your current president have in office? As a citizen of my country, I should know that answer, right?
We caught you a little off guard there. You should know that, shouldn't you?
Right, but it's like, I don't know, and I don't care, because it almost doesn't make any difference. It goes from one bozo to another bozo. They're all clowns.
And I'm sure there's lots of Canadians up here that don't realize that we're going to the polls in October.
Oh, for certain. If you took a microphone and headed out on the street and started asking the general public, they'd be going, election, I don't know. Soon, isn't it?
Soon. That's a good answer. Soon.
Exactly. There was one article that I picked up on where they actually did poll the younger kids, or not the younger kids, but the younger voters, and because of the marijuana issue, more of them tend to vote Liberal. It was close to like 58% of them would vote Liberal because of the marijuana issue.
Because of the cannabis issue. I know that the conservative attack ads, it's just so funny, the first one they come out with there where they talk about his policies and he's not ready yet and all that kind of stuff. And then it's like, oh, yeah, whatever is it, what's on his agenda? Oh, legalizing cannabis? Is that really a big issue? And, it's like, yeah, it is a big issue. As you guys found out, you're using it in your attack ad. That's how big it is.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Hey, that's huge, Al. I mean, it's a part of of the actual election, which conservatives prove that by putting it in their attack ad. And of course, Casper, you love it. It ends with, but he does have nice hair. Something about ISIS and sending winter coats, and it's always going to help, and
it's actually it's a parody that they took from an old NDP ad from one of the provinces from out west that they had set up, and then they turned around and the conservatives made it to their liking, but the overall idea of it was originally an NDP thing, and so they're using it, and it's running on the commercials, and now that glass pipe is coming back and saying that it's causing schizophrenia and everything. They're going on all about all the mental health issues, and then at the end of the commercial, the pipe is all black and clogged up, and they're saying that's your arteries, or that's your windpipe. It's all contaminated from the cannabis.
It's just like this is your brain on drugs.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they ran those ads on YouTube, and it's got to be one of the only things I've ever seen on YouTube that had such a high percentage of thumb down versus thumb up. Like, it was literally thousands and thousands and thousands of thumbs down, and maybe like 90 or something like that on the thumbs up. It was just.
Well, after Toronto had my favorite mayor, who was a pot-smoking alcoholic, my favorite, and I'm not even from anywhere near, but oh my gosh, I loved reading about it. He was my favorite mayor of all time. So
he's still on council.
Is he? Well, that's good.
Yeah. Yes, he's a councillor now. He stepped back because of during the election because of his cancer. And he ran as a councillor in the ward that he had always won in the years before, and he didn't have to be there. He was in the hospital the whole time, and he won the election.
Well, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So they were actually they were going to try to have his cousin or something run in there, but then when he discovered the cancer and all that, it all fell apart. Some big plan that they had going there. Sort of like, constantly either you guys get Clintons or you get Bushes.
Yeah, you've noticed that too, haven't you?
Yeah.
Kind of funny, isn't it? It's been Bush and Clinton and Bush and Clinton and then the guy who won it this time, Obama, we found out during the campaign that he was a third cousin to Dick Cheney. Obama is a third cousin to Dick Cheney. So they did keep it in the family.
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just they tried to have his brother become the mayor of the city and his cousin become a ward. Just keep it going, right?
You got about 4 minutes left in the big broadcast.
Okay, guys. I know I'd like to touch on for a minute or two. Use up some of that time is to update your listeners on an update that's going on the Pace Radio Show.
Cool.
And that is that we have a new joint host. One of our present hosts, Allison Murden, is going to move into a position of being a part-time or somebody to fill in or help out when needed.
All right.
And we have our new host, joint host, will be Kim Cooper of Northern Ontario. I'm just trying to think of what the whole name is. Northern Ontario Education and Reform.
All right.
And Kim is involved in many groups on Facebook. She's involved in the news, constantly informing people, sending stuff around. She's always talking with people. She's not quite up there to the Arctic Circle, but she's getting close. She's in a location that needed an advocate to speak out, and she has done that big time. She's been involved in organizing rallies and helping patients. Just recently, she was involved in Mark Emery was going to do a legalization tour. She had stuff all arranged for that, but unfortunately, there's been a change in Mark's plans, so she's had to, cancel that, unfortunately. But still, it was a lot of work by her that she still had to do, and she's involved in things. She's talking with people all the time. So we like to take an advocate who is working very hard, constantly, and give them an opportunity to do something that maybe they haven't done before. Such as, like, when I first got involved in radio, I had no experience in it whatsoever. And then all of a sudden, a guy who had a show on a terrestrial radio here, local to us, asked me to start doing live interviews with him about cannabis news. And it just shot off from there. And, I never ended up doing any schooling. And, now, as you know, Casper, we got the Pace radio show, and that's been going for, since basically Time for Hemp Broadcast Network got going. And it's, for her, I think this is a big step and a big opportunity to grow. So give her a chance to spread her wings and share her knowledge.
We look forward to her joining our family. That's cool. You want to give a shout out also to a URL, and then we'll pass it over to Kelly?
Oh, yes. The Pace website at pace-online. If you go there, you'll find all kinds of news, web links, researchers, links to Time for Hemp, stuff such as joint conversations, and some of your audio and that people can listen to. And
Kelly, you want to give a shout out?
Absolutely. All you medical patients out there that could benefit from a quality vaporizer for free, please send me an email, Kelly, Kelly, at kdkwholesale.ca.
And I want to remind people that we are not just a 1 hour broadcast, but we are 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can find us in iHeartRadio. You can also find us on Tumblr, SoundCloud, and you can get great apps to share with your friends. All of our MP3s are free to download. And remember, the next time you hear me, you'll know that it's time for hemp.
Look at all that money, yeah, the money that they spent. Take another look now and take some time for hemp. I know cut trees for paper, cause it hurts the environment. Stop deforestation, yeah, it's time for hemp. Whoa, an acre of hemp makes 20 barrels of oil. No need for pesticides to poison all our soil. People got no food, they got no clothes, they got no rest. Well, right now it's time for hemp.
You are listening to the Time for Hemp Global Broadcasting Network. The only broadcasting network dedicated to ending the global war on drugs on iHeartRadio.
Thank you for listening. My name's Adam Kay.
And my name's Suman Biswas.
This album is sponsored by Smaxoglythkline, who have asked us to say a few words about their new drug, Paracetamoxifruzibendroneomycin. Paracetamoxifruzibendroneomycin. It's our brand new wonder drug we think you'll find enticing. Paracetamoxifruzibendroneomycin. The BNF has 20,000 different drugs to take, so we thought, what could we produce to give you all a break? A drug that can treat anything from leprosy to SARS, and you can give it in the mouth, IV or up the arse. It's Paracetamoxifruzibendroneomycin. Paracetamoxifruzibendroneomycin. It can cure the common cold and being struck by lightning. Paracetamoxifruzibendroneomycin. I'm the little lie. We tested it on animals and none of them survived, but that's okay, cause when we wrote the paper up we lied. It's first choice for MIMS and even for ME and COPD, HIV, PE and DVT. Paracetamoxifruzibendroneomycin. Paracetamoxifruzibendroneomycin. It reverses impotence and makes you good at fighting. Paracetamoxifruzibendroneomycin. I'm the lie. There are some minor side effects and some are not that rare, like nausea, vomiting, and losing all your hair, and heart attacks, becoming gay and growing extra breasts. But it's fucking cheap and hey, this is the NHS. Paracetamoxifruzibendroneomycin. Paracetamoxifruzibendroneomycin. There are cures for everything from AIDS to pubic lice in Paracetamoxifruzibendroneomycin. I'm the lie. Paracetamoxifruzibendroneomycin. We make it from the cerebellar cortex of a bison. After that it undergoes some polygenic splicing. Paracetamoxifruzibendroneomycin. I'm the lie. Paracetamoxifruzibendroneomycin. It makes you smart as Einstein and as muscular as Tyson. It brings an end to all that pharmacology revising. Paracetamoxifruzibendroneomycin. I'm the lie. Paracetamoxifruzibendroneomycin. We sell lots in Japan cause it's the antidote to ricin. The Minister of Health we hear will shortly be advising, take Paracetamoxifruzibendroneomycin.
Education and information. See what all the buzz is all about. It's time for hemp. It's time for hemp.